In study and understanding, in the tradition that this is coming from, study involves a huge element of self-transformative practice. And it involves a mentoring relationship with a living community and a living group. It can't be just conveyed in words and language or mere study. The image that appeared in a lot of the text was this idea of swimming, and I'm going to share some of that with you today. But it's this idea of entering into a not totally comfortable element and learning how to be comfortable in it, which is water. You'll see this throughout these traditions, the use of water, the element of water, both as freeing up and opening up possibilities, but also challenging and requiring a new confidence and a new discipline to do. I'll give you ZhuangZi. All the fish needs to do is get lost in the water. And all people need to do is get lost in the way. Fishes are born in water. People are born in Tao, the way, the Tao. If fishes born in water seek the deep shadow of pond and pool, all their needs are satisfied. If the fish goes into the deep, cool recesses of the pond, everything they need is satisfied. It's where they also escape capture. So again, it has this image of when you're cultivating, you don't want to be so alluring and attractive. You want to guard your spiritual nature so that it's not entangled or caught up. That doesn't mean you don't make commitments, and it doesn't mean you don't have relationships, but you're very careful in doing that because you're protecting your spiritual nature. And so the fish, it says the fish that lasts long is the one that goes to the deepest part of the water, and it's not just on the surface. Now the next part of that is, if people born in Tao sink into the deep shadow, and this is Wu Wei, and this is a very complicated term to translate. What this means is that you are acting freely and unencumbered by klesha, by afflictions. That you're acting clearly with pure conscience, pure ethical grounding, and not seeking anything. It's free of desires and designs. You are responding to things as they are. In the Platform Sutra, you'll know the line, it says, everywhere engaged but nowhere attached. So this is that state of movement and stillness blended, that you want to be in the world, but not completely submerged in it. You're responding to what comes up appropriately, balanced and centered. At the same time, you're not shutting it out or shutting it down. So it's neither a renunciation nor a loss of yourself into something, but it's a balanced, everywhere engaged, but nowhere clinging, attaching. So it also means you're free of desires and designs. Those of you who know the Confucian tradition, Confucian said he reached a state at 70. He said when he was 70, he could follow his heart's impulses and not overstep the bounds of what was correct and proper. But before that, he was working on it. He was working on it, testing himself and developing this. So it's an acquired ease, acquired confidence that you can see in people that have been cultivating, truly cultivating for a long time, and not just simply going through the motions of cultivation. They develop a kind of responsiveness that's alert to the moment. Very few mistakes, if any, get made because they are reading things without the filtered designs and desires. This is what he means here by, if they born in the Tao, if they then sink into the deep shadow of this Wu Wei, to forget aggression and concern, they lack nothing. Their life is secure. So it's explaining the fulfilled good life comes from freeing oneself up from the designs and the desires and the afflictions that sort of interfere with our proper functioning. All the fish needs is to get lost in the water, hence first part of the title, getting lost in the water. And all a person needs is to get lost in the Tao. In most of these teachings that you will encounter at DRBU, I think especially on the Eastern classics sides, Confucian, Taoist, Hindu, Buddhist, there's a deep underlying premise of the innate capacity for goodness and wisdom innate in each person, in each living being, that it is not lacking or deficient. It is whole and complete from the beginning to the end. When they say original, they don't mean from a previous time. Original means ever and always present. In Chinese, sometimes use bun, meaning root or original. So sometimes it's called original nature, self-nature, essential nature, or just called the nature, or Tathagata. It's various expressions talking about this incredibly powerful capacity that is with us at all times and that needs only to be activated or uncovered, but not gotten from the outside. So when he says, when you lose yourself in the Tao, it means you return to this ground, you go back to that nature, and therefore everything is whole and complete. You need not seek anything outside.